And civil servants told to dress properly or else. But first, Barack Obama has won the U.S. presidential election, defeating his Republican challenger Mitt Romney. According to Al Jazeera, the incumbent president has captured at least 275 electoral votes, more than the majority of 270 required for victory. Obama won a string of states, including Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Iowa, and New Hampshire, meaning that the win was all but guaranteed, though the vote counting was far from complete. A 25-year-old inmate is admitted at the intensive care unit of the Colonial War Memorial Hospital after he was allegedly attacked by 2 other inmates. The alleged incident occurred at the Corovo Correction Center last Saturday. Mika Longa with this exclusive report.
FBC News was reliably told that 2 inmates allegedly sodomized Bibi's son. He suffered severe injuries too. What exactly happened to her son?
I didn't know he's in hospital. I thought he was in prison. When I asked the doctor, he said that he had an operation. When I came to prison, they did not tell me. They said, "You go and see him."
The attack allegedly took place in the Yasi dormitory at the Corovo Correction Center last weekend. 7 prison officers allegedly physically disciplined 52 inmates in the dorm when they refused to disclose details of the attack. 2 inmates suspected of the alleged attack have been transferred to the Maximum Security Correction Center in Mboro.
This is the first time my son has had a big operation, and they can do this again to some other prisoner. What if my son died?
Still reeling from the shock, Bibi says she will lodge an official complaint to the Corrections Commissioner's office. Last Saturday's incident at the Corovo Correction Center brings to light yet again issues related to the human rights of prisoners. Fiji Corrections Service spokesperson Anatamani Tundrao says they're conducting their own investigations and have also referred the matter to the police. Mikolonga, FBC News.
The Land Transport Authority has ordered the S9's bus recently involved in an accident on Edinburgh Drive to stay off the road for 2 years. And as Mika Longa reports, 8 buses have also been given similar orders by the LTA.
Passengers who were on this bus 2 weeks ago narrowly cheated death when it rolled downhill. A full assessment of the bus by the LTA found it was too old and unfit for the road.
From the findings, we have concluded there were some defects that were already there before that incident.
This bus has been barred from our roads for 2 years.
We have already revoked the fitness. The certificate of fitness is now on suspension.
8 other buses from various companies have also been issued notice to retire within the next 24 months. These are buses that have excess mileage, a history of wear and tear, undergone many repairs, and are old. Taxis are also targeted in the exercise.
It's a cycle here where we are retiring those old vehicles, and they have been given, sometimes a period where they are to replace those vehicles.
The LTA is no longer taking any chances. It will root out any vehicle, defective or old, from our roads it thinks is unfit to run as private or PSV. To it, people's lives is paramount. Mikolonga, FBC News.
Attempts have been made to contact one of the bus companies concerned, S9 Transport, but calls to their office were not answered. Naviti Resort and Spa is not letting the recent destruction of their main building affect their operations. A temporary building will be set up soon to cater for tourists in the upcoming busy season. Eleanor Turangaivu has more.
Stopping the operations altogether will only harm the resort following the massive fire incident. With close to 100% booking for the Christmas and New Year's holiday, efforts are underway to ensure guests are not affected.
We will be finding an alternate area to build some temporary or semi-temporary building to host the tourists during the busy period.
Yesterday, local government Minister Samuela Somatua, along with National Fire Authority Board Chair Francis Kin, CEO John O'Connor and senior fire officers inspected the charred remains of the building.
It's also a lesson for us that disaster can strike at any time. We just have to be prepared.
Meanwhile, the resort is yet to put a dollar value to the damage sustained during the fire.
We have to get the engineer and the relevant people to come and do the inspection in order to get a real cost of the damage.
The report from the fire officers on the cause of the fire has been handed to resort management, who will make public the finding once superiors are informed. Eleanor Turangaiviu, FBC News.
Monasavu landowners will re-establish their Landowners Association to fight for their concerns that they claim have been neglected by past governments. Landowners told FBC News they haven't been compensated for the Monasavu Dam as well as the Wailaw pumping station. As Apisalome Dhokar reports, the association will meet for the first time in 18 years.
Landowners in Monasavu claim they have been fooled by previous governments and it's about time they are paid what they are owed.
I'm one of the landowners that can confirm our concerns we raised in 1998 has not been resolved. That is, we have not been paid the Monasavu Dam damage compensation.
In 1998, landowners took up their grievances with the government in power at that time, as well as with the FEA and the then NLTB. Senitiki Nanga claims since then nothing has eventuated. One of the main reasons they have decided to revive the association.
Wailaw is where the FEA pumping station is. They too have not been compensated.
When approached, TLTB General Manager Alipati Ngetaki said he won't make a statement through the media, adding that the best thing to do was for landowners to raise their concerns with their nearest TLTB office. Apisalome Dhokar, FBC News.
Following a successful crackdown on traffic offenders in the West, the Land Transport Authority has moved its focus to the Central Division. Operation Garauna began this week in the Navua to Tailevu region. Akosita Tale reports.
The Land Transport Authority is teaming up with the police traffic unit, targeting areas between Navua and Tailevu.
What we have in place is our operational strategies for the year. And as Christmas gets closer, we will have to also analyze our the stats that we have that will give us information of what we need to work on, the types of offences, etc.
According to the LTA, the biggest traffic offenders are those driving vehicles with defects. This year alone, there were 2,906 defect orders issued. 194 vehicles were impounded due to expiry registrations or were unfit to be on the road. Operation Garauna was introduced last Thursday and teams have been on the road since yesterday. And although the fatality rate has decreased from 44 last year to 37 this year, the authority isn't content with the result.
At the end of the day, we would like to see that there's a safe road out there for traveling, for the travelers, traveling public, motorists, etc. And that's our responsibility as the Land Transport Authority.
The LTA is urging both drivers and pedestrians to be responsible and observe road rules. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
The Public Service Commission has reinforced a compulsory work dress code for all civil servants. This follows reports that some workers are turning up to work without proper attire. Vosita Kotawasa reports.
In an internal memo circulated within the PSC, all officers are now required to dress formally during work hours.
The dress code is being emphasized and enforced as part of our initiative to make staff look smarter and to be well presented.
For gentlemen, it's appropriate to wear a shirt tucked in with a tie, pants or sulu and proper footwear. Hair or beard must be trimmed. Women are to wear a working skirt that goes below the knee. Proper shoes and makeup should be kept at a minimum. Big hanging earrings are now banned, and nose rings can only be worn if it's for cultural or religious reasons.
It has come to our attention that some people were not properly attired. There was no consistency in uniforms which we have purchased ourselves. and it has now tried to make it more consistent and more professional.
Civil servants have also been advised against wearing their ministry mbula wear into nightclubs. Chan says this is all part of the PSC's restructure. Wasita Kote Wasawasa, FBC News.